morning and welcome to studying Spanish with me for a week. So I'm going to take you with me and show you what I do every week. Today is currently Monday, so I'll take you with me from today, Monday, to Sunday of this week. So you can see exactly what I do and exactly how I study Spanish every week. Now, I just want to say the way that I do it is not the right way. It's just what works for me. And there are things I can improve on. There are things I can do more of and do differently. So don't take what I do as the only right way. Everyone has something that works for them. And everyone has something that they like more than something else. So do whatever works for you, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so it's important to note that my lesson with my teacher, I have one lesson every week with my teacher, and that is on Fridays currently. It used to be on Tuesdays, but now my schedule has changed, so now it's on Fridays every week. So that means I had my lesson like 3 days ago because today is Monday, and I haven't done anything since Friday. I was busy with other things the whole weekend, so this is the first time I'm going to be doing anything since my lesson. What I normally like to do first is write down all the notes from my lesson into my notebook. So I do have a Google Doc with my teacher, which she types on and makes all the notes and explanations on. But the Google Doc is 71 pages long already, so I don't really like studying from the page, and also I just like writing things in a notebook. I'm a pen and paper kind of person. I love it and I love making notes. So what I like to do first before anything is write all the notes into my notebook, and I'll give you a quick little glimpse of what my notebook looks like. So this is basically my notebook. And these are the kind of notes that I take. And it's not all only from our lessons, it's also from some other websites and maybe things that I write. So that is basically my notes, and as you can probably tell, I love taking notes. I love this notebook because it's really easy when I'm busy doing something and I want to reference something to just quickly flip to a page in the notebook instead of looking for it through 71 pages of a Google Doc. It's just way easier to quickly flip to something in my notebook, and it's also in colors, and I love that it's in color and in my handwriting, and I don't know, I like studying that way, and I did that too in school and in university, so I really like it. I also get homework from my teacher every week, but I like doing the notes before I do the homework, so let's go make the notes. Okay, these are all my notes for today, and I just want to share this website. So this is SpanishDict, and I've spoken about it before, but in case you don't know it, this is the website I use, and it's really, really good. So this is just an example. I searched for this word, and then it gives you other versions and the original verb, so recoger. To pick up, to gather, it gives you the explanation. Then it gives you all the different things it can be, and then the reason I really love this is because it gives you the conjugation of the word, which is what I use this for a lot. So it gives you the subjunctive, the imperative, the progressive, perfect. It gives you all the conjugations, which is really, really cool. And then examples, pronunciation, thesaurus. So if you don't use SpanishDict yet, I highly recommend you do, because it's really, really helpful. Good morning. It is a new day, and it is actually a new week. So last week was a bit of a fail in terms of vlogging and in terms of language learning, but I did what I had to do. So last week I had a day where I just was not feeling well, and it just put my whole week off. I got so behind on everything that I wanted to do, and basically in terms of language learning last week, I only did my homework given to me by my teacher, and usually I like to do a lot more. I like to do extra on top of my homework, and that is kind of what I want to document and show. But I only did my homework last week, and you know what? It's okay. I had a week where I wasn't feeling well. I had an off week. I was extremely busy on Friday. Fridays are crazy days for me, so I can't get any like learning done on Fridays, even though my lesson is on Friday. That's part of the busyness of my Friday, so I can't get any learning done. So basically I didn't have much time for language learning, which is okay. We're all gonna have weeks where it just doesn't work out, where we do the bare minimum, and sometimes the bare minimum is okay because we can't do a lot all the time. So if you're having a week where maybe you aren't getting as much done as you would hope, it's okay. Try again next week, and that is what I'm doing now. It is a Monday morning and I am trying again. I'm still going to leave the clip from last week Monday in, or whatever I filmed last week Monday. I'm still going to leave it in because I think I said some useful things and showed some useful things, so I'm still going to leave that in. But we are starting this study with me week over this week, so join me for a new week of studying. So I had my lesson last week Friday, which was very good. I started on past tense, and that was my first ever lesson on past tense, and I learned simple past basically, which apparently is the most widely used, and that is why I learned it first. And it was a bit difficult, so because it's new, it's difficult. A bit confusing at this moment, but a lot of my homework and what I'm going to hopefully put some practice into is practicing that and working on that. So I have some homework to practice the past tense. They are 2 grammar exercises. I know some people don't like grammar, but actually I love grammar. I love doing grammar exercises. I really enjoy them. So if you hate grammar exercises, you don't have to do them, but I really like them. So I've got 2 of them. I also need to write a few things. I think 6 things. How many were on the list? I have to basically make a list of whatever I did this past weekend. So this weekend that was just past, I need to make a list of some things I did on the weekend to practice the past tense. Yes, so I'm looking forward to that. In terms of my lesson, I spoke a lot more than I usually do. Still not very well, but more. So that's progress. I struggle with speaking. Speaking is the hardest thing of a new language, for me anyway. I find writing and reading easier. I find listening a bit more challenging, but speaking is very difficult. So we all have our struggles. So anyway, I'm quite excited for this week, and what I'm going to do first is do my homework. I already started yesterday. I went over everything we did in the lesson yesterday. So I always like to go over whatever we did in the lesson, kind of recap, make sure I understand what we did. And then after that, I like to do my homework. So I'm going to do my homework first. And only after my homework do I do extra things on top. And when I get to those extra things, I will show you what they are. These are my notes for this week. I didn't have as many notes as last week. And these are all kind of just corrections, not really grammar notes. Okay, it's Friday morning. I just had my lesson about half an hour ago. And after my lesson, I took my dog on a walk just to breathe, clear my head, think things through. And something I realized throughout these past 7 months of taking lessons, I've been taking lessons for 7 months, and I've realized that it kind of goes like this. Sometimes you have really, really good lessons and you understand most of what's being said, you understand what you're learning. And sometimes you have not so good lessons where you really struggle to understand and where you're straining your ears to try and understand, but it's just not happening. Today was one of those. And I've had these in the past, but they aren't as frequent as the good lessons. I have way more good lessons than, I won't say bad because it's not bad, but difficult. Just with a bit of a struggle. So the good very much outweighs the bad. All I do is struggle. But yeah, today was a bit of a struggle. I really found it difficult to understand what was happening, what was being said. Nothing processed through my brain. But hey, that's how it is. And I think that's just a part of language learning. And I've heard other people say this, that it's not going to be just a steady curve up. There are dips. I've heard people talk about that. So it's normal. I know it's normal. I'm going to do my best to review what we did in the lesson so that I can maybe start understanding or just go over it for myself and hopefully be better in the next lesson. So today's lesson was about months and seasons, and although that's not a very difficult topic, also weather. Months, seasons, and weather. And that's not the most difficult topic, so I don't know why today was like it was, but it was, and what can you do about it? But anyway, we move forward. I'm going to review, make some notes, go over everything we did in class. I'll show you a very cool website that we use. The important thing is not to let lessons like this bring you down, not to let them make you doubt yourself, because I've come this far. No need to doubt myself right now just because of a lesson where I struggled. Okay, good morning. It is the last day of this vlog. I will be wrapping it up today. So it is actually Monday, Valentine's Day, so the week is finished. I didn't do any language learning this weekend. It was just a busy weekend. I'm in the spirit of Valentine's Day today with my red shirt. And before I wrap this up, I just wanted to give one more little resource recommendation. So here it is. This is a really, really great website. It has so many topics and activities. So that website has so many topics that align with the LA, I don't even know if that's the official name, but the DELE exams. And they have exercises and practice activities and explanations, and it's just really, really cool. It's really fun. So if you're looking for something else that would help you, that's really awesome. It's a really awesome website, and the topics align with the books I'm doing. Also, I seem to just have had a very busy 2 weeks. I definitely overbooked myself. Usually I do a lot of extra things on top of my work that I get from my lessons and my homework, and I try to do as much extra as I can. And so I just quickly want to show you what that looks like when I do it. So I have this list of resources. The title obviously says it, Spanish resources to work through. So these 3 on top are the books I'm working through with my teacher. So I get exercises from these from my teacher, and whenever I finish those, I go through it and do all the extra exercises that we missed and that we didn't do in class. So I do everything extra there, and that is the first thing I do. Then these 2, my teacher created something called a Miro board where she made notes and things for every level. So that is the second thing I go through and make notes from that. We watch these videos that have a character named Eva, and they are in Spanish, and they also go along with these books, and so I go over them. Then these 3 books I'll show you in just a moment. I got them from a friend who didn't want them anymore, so I then work through these. The grammar one I've been enjoying, the other 2 I haven't started yet because I've been focusing on everything else, and this is kind of in order of priority. So after, if I have nothing to do in those categories anymore, I move to these, and I'll show you them in just a moment. But I got these from a friend. Then I have 101 Conversations in Simple Spanish and Short Stories in Spanish for Beginners from Ollie Richards. And obviously I've read them as novels, but my goal is to go through them slowly and actually study the language and translate the parts I don't understand and just work through them slowly and make sure I understand everything. So that is what I would do then. So I have a lot of resources as well as the website I just showed. I have a lot of things that I work through and do extra above my lessons and homework. So these are the 3 books that I got from my friend that I also worked through. This is a grammar book, and I have started with this one. As you can see, I've done some writing in there, but I haven't gotten very far. But I do enjoy this book. And then these have the same titles as the books I use with my teachers, but they are different and they do have different content. But it's very similar to the books I use with my teachers, so that's why I really like them. So I have the Libro del Alumno, which is kind of like the textbook, and then the Libro de Ejercicios, which is like an activity book, an exercise book kind of, and they go together hand in hand. And these are both A1, all 3 of them. So I do really like them, and I'm really excited to get into these 2 for extra practice and revision. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this technically 2-week-long journey of studying Spanish, and I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Let me know how your language learning is going in the comments. I would love to know. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.